والصلاة والسلام على من لا نبي بعده. يقول الله تبارك وتعالى في القرآن المجيد: بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم، بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قد أفلح من تزكى وذكر اسم ربه فصلى. صدق الله العظيم. قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم: الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. أما بعد. Dear respected honorable listeners, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has stated in Surah Al-A'la: قد أفلح من تزكى. Successful is he who purifies his soul. Zakka, purification of the soul and the nafs. The word tazakka comes from the Arabic root word of zakah. And zakah here means is a purification. Like when a person gives zakah of his wealth, he is purifying his wealth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is indicating the believers towards this of the purification, number one, of character, the purification of wealth. Secondly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al-Shams states: قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا. And successful is he, zakkaha, who purifies his soul. وَقَدْ خَابَ مَنْ دَسَّاهَا. And doomed and wretched is he who neglects and corrupts his soul. What does this mean? The Mufassirin write that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that Allah is telling us who are the successful people. The successful people are those who purify their heart, their soul from the contamination of sin. And by doing this, they have, in obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and following the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So there's two types of people mentioned here, two groups in the Ummah. The first is the successful. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us who are the successful ones. The successful ones are those who purify their heart, their soul, and the unsuccessful people who neglect their heart and soul, i.e. meaning that they neglect the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they neglect the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and they live their life according to their nafs, according to their desires. And for this, it's a very important that we take this very serious about the tazkiyah, the purification of the soul. What does it mean? How does ailment appear? How does our heart become corrupt? Inshallah, in the next 15-20 minutes, inshallah, we will be discussing this. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam mentions in the hadith: ألا وإن في الجسد مضغة إذا صلحت صلح الجسد كله وإذا فسدت فسد الجسد كله ألا وهي القلب. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has mentioned in the hadith, reported by Imam Bukhari rahimahullah, that verily the body as a piece of flesh. which if sound, then the entire body is sound. And if it's corrupt, then the whole body is corrupt. What is this? This is the heart. Okay. How the heart plays a vital role in pumping blood around the body. And if the heart stops or the arteries are blocked, then the health is affected. Similarly, the spirituality and the peace of the body is all depending upon the heart. If one's heart is clean, soft, then the whole body becomes obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if the heart is contaminated, if the heart becomes blocked through sin, like the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has mentioned in hadith that when a person sins, a dot appears, a black dot, even though we can't see it, we believe it because the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has mentioned this, a black dot appears. And like that, when a person sins and keeps sinning, then the heart becomes hard. And it is not willing to accept the Quran, it is not willing to accept Hidayah, it is not willing to accept any good, because the roots and the ways to the heart are being blocked through sin. Similarly, when a heart becomes pure, when a heart is obedient and subservient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then the heart accepts good. The heart is willing to do good. And the heart will encourage the rest of the body parts, whether it is the eyes, the mind, the feet, the hands, to be subservient and to remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The question arises here is, what are the causes of the disease of the heart? What causes the heart to corrode? You know, for example, how metal corrodes. If you leave it out and it corrodes, okay? How does the heart corrode? How does the heart become diseased? Not in the sense of medically, but spiritually. Okay. And there are a few points, there are many points, obviously due to the lack of time. I can't, go over each one in depth. But just an overall view is, one of them is being neglectful. Being neglectful of and not following the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and being heedless, being that a person is very careless. When it comes to, is this, for example, it is halal, it's haram. When a person does this, an action, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is what to do. These things don't come in his heart. He's being neglectful. He's living his life according to the way he wants to live his life. Okay? So this is one of the reasons and the causes of the heart to become corrupt is when a person is neglectful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and sunnah. Okay? And she lives their life, how they want to live their life, how they see people, and then the other people become influential in their life. People, who don't want good for them, but in reality are bad for them. They go on social media. And our role model as believers is Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Okay, and if we leave that way, then other people, whether it's on social media or a sports star or somebody, becomes our role model and we are blinded by the truth. Second, this is important, is your private life. In the sense that how you are privately defines your relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How you are privately in your quarters of your house defines your relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What does this mean? That it is very easy to live a double life, in the sense that a person is the Masjid, mashallah, she functioning their salah, they read the Quran, they do the dhikr. But what really matters is how this person at home, and nobody is there, and him and Allah. If he is God feeding them, If he fears Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then yes, that person has a good relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But if he's living a double life, where in the masjid or in the community, he is one that is punctual in their salah, doing good work, but at home they are sinning, whether looking at their mobile phones or whatever form of sin there is, then that matters. It's how your relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in your private life. When nobody is there, when nobody is looking at you, when your friends are not looking at you, then that defies a person's iman. Another ailment of the heart, is looking at impermissible things. And sadly to say, in this day and age with the mobile phone, smart, it's very easy for a person to be misguided and led astray. And it says that our eyes are the gateway to our hearts. Our eyes are the gateway to our hearts. If we keep our eyes pure, then our heart automatically becomes pure. But if we contaminate, if we corrupt our eyes and not controlling our eyes, and then that automatically will corrupt the heart, and it will seal the heart, and then we don't want to do good, we don't want to come to the masjid, we don't want to read the Quran, and then, like you said, one sin leads to another sin. And this dunya was never made for anybody to fulfill their desires. Because that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made them. So, control of your eyes is very important, especially the youth, if they are on TikTok, Instagram, these, Facebook, and very easy, to travel, so the stuff, maybe go to my Islamic blog, then you're flicking up, and then, Auzubillah, we look at something, and then that leads to another thing. So one of the traps of the shaitan. So wherever we are, outside, at home, very important that we control our eyesight. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say that we should lower our gazes. We don't look at things that are harmful for us. We will affect the heart. And then our heart becomes sealed, and then we cannot do good things. Another ailment of the heart is arrogance. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam stated in hadith reported by Imam rahimahullah that whoever has a mustard seed of arrogance, a mustard seed, how big is a mustard seed? Again, maybe a few hundred in our hands. How big? Small. It's to show whoever has a mustard seed of arrogance shall never enter Jannah. This is the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this is also one of the great ailments that affects the heart and soul, is having arrogance. This was one of the downfalls of shaitan, takabbur, arrogance. The ana khayrun min. That when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told shaitan, bow down to Adam alayhi salam, he said, watch your problem. I'm made out of fire. He's made out of clay. And when arrogance and pride overtakes a person, then that person is doomed. Because remember, this al-mutakabbir is Allah. Al-mutakabbir is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When we challenge Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this is the sifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and when we challenge Allah, and we think that we are somebody special because Allah has given us some status, or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us some wealth. Remember, who gave this to you? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then we think we are somebody special. Then we think, that, because of me, it is of me that I am, I'm successful in the business or in the dunya, and it is me. And then it becomes me, and arrogance takes over a person. Okay? And just one last thing I want to mention before we go on to the remedies, okay, and this is a very big one, is envy, jealousy. This is one silent disease. It kills the heart. Like cancer kills the heart. I mean, the cancer, when it spreads on the body, same is envy, jealousy. And jealousy is when we see something, Allah has blessed a ni'mah upon somebody, whether it's health, whether it's beauty, whether it's a rishta, whether it's whatever, and we don't want it for ourselves. Why not bother, regardless if we get that or we don't get that? We want that person to be deprived. In a community, somebody, Allah's blessed with a business, Allah's blessed with a nice car, Allah's blessed with a house, Allah's blessed with nice children, or pious children, we become envious. This is today's meaning, that how a fire eats wood when it's burnt, is how jealousy eats good deeds. We come to the Masjid, we read Quran, we read this, and then what happens? We see somebody and jealousy comes in our heart. Why is that person got a nice car? Why is he got a business? Why is he, he's a hafiz or a alim? And then we begin to question Allah. Now, why have you blessed him? Now it's been. Why have we blessed this person? So we should be very. And if this ever happens, it can happen to anybody. When this thought comes, then we make dua to Allah. Whatever you bless this person, bless him. And increase this brother or this sister in their blessings. And if you make dua this, then automatically the flame of enviness is put out. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make a dua, and inshallah, if it's written down, Allah will give us the same. Or if not, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give it back. Okay. So, going on to what are the cures? We've talked about a few things. Other is jealousy, the controlling of the eyesight, arrogance. So what are the remedies of us curing our hearts and our soul? One is, number one is fasting. We have to, the first thing we need to do is accountability. It's very important. What I mean by this is you have to first recognize that, hold on, there's something wrong with me. Right when we go to the doctor, and you say, doctor, there's something wrong with me, I feel pain in my heart or in my liver. We have to first acknowledge that, what there's something wrong with me. If we don't take the first step, then how are we going to get cured? If we don't go to the doctors, or we don't say, look, this is, sir, this is my illness, I've been picking up for 2 weeks, then we're not going to get cured. The first and most important is accountability. That we have to think, I know there's something wrong with me. And we make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number two is asking forgiveness. That any sins that we've done, either we through our eyes, anything we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Quran, ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, tubu ila Allah tawbatan nasuha. Not just we pick hands up, oh Allah, please forgive me. No, sincere tawbah. That look, Allah, this sin I'm not going to do again. I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to, I've seen something from my eyes, or ya Allah, I've got this bad thing in my heart to my brother. Oh Allah, cure. So again, doing seeking forgiveness, very important. Tubu ila Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala instructs the believers, ask Allah for forgiveness. And supplication, dua. The dua is a very important that we don't particularly like. It's a weapon of the believer. Dua of ibadah is a part of worship that we build our connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by making dua. Oh Allah, you know my sins. Oh Allah, you know the situation of my heart. Oh Allah, cure me. Oh Allah, I've got these ailments. Ya Allah, I've got Hassan, or my heart, inclined towards sin, or I can't control my eyesight, or can't control my, I listen to things I'm not supposed to listen to, or I do riba, or you tell Allah knows. You tell Allah, look, this is my ailment. So Allah, look, please find me a way, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will definitely find you a way out. And Allah will forgive you, inshallah, and through this, Allah will help you and guide you towards, towards the right path, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help you. Okay? Another very important thing is zikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That Allah bi dhikrillah tatma'innul qulub. Verily the hearts find peace and tranquility in the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is a very big thing and a very big cure remedy to the ailments of the heart and dhikr, that we remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and if we can have a connection with this Shaykh, and he will help us through the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to purify our soul, and very important, Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu dhkurullaha dhikran kathira. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran that we do zikr abundantly, okay? And our al-Qadirin and ulama, that they say that the basic dhikr is what we do after 5 times after the namaz, is the tasbihah, 30 times subhanallah, 30 times subhanallah, Allahu Akbar, la ilaha illallah. We do that's 5 times in one. And then the morning and evening azkar. Okay, so we start with istighfar. Istighfar, why? So we cleanse, they say ulama, right, that the istighfar, so we start with istighfar and we cleanse the heart. We do tawbah. Then we do durood sharif. Why? To soften the heart. We do durood sharif 100 times. The most simple one. If you got time in the morning, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the first if you don't have time, astaghfirullah. So very easy and don't astaghfirullah, 100 times in the evening, 100 times in the evening. Then we should be sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, subhanallah, so if we stick to this, inshallah, then our heart will become clean. If we stick and stay in the sohbah and in the company of the pious, inshallah, and we build our relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just to summarize before our end, that we mentioned in today's speech about the importance of tasbih al-nafs, the recognition of the ailments of the heart, what causes these ailments, whether it's envy, whether it's takabbur, arrogance, sinning, or controlling our eyes. These leads to the corruption of the heart. How do we solve this? What's the cure? The cure is, remember, first we have to recognize that all of this is wrong. Then we make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We abstain from sin, most very important, and we dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in devotion. We sit down, in seclusion, and we just think when we say astaghfirullah, purification of the heart, then the durood sharif, and then we say the third one, and then we have a connection to the Shaykh, then we give you prescribed adhkar, and you say you go to the Shaykh, this is my illness, You're not concealing your sin, but you're going for the intention of help, that inshallah through this Shaykh, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help me purify my heart, inshallah. And it's very important, and this is the thing that's neglected nowadays, is we concentrate on the body. We make sure the body is fed, we make sure the body is well nourished, we make sure that we go to the gym, we make sure everything is perfect, nobody forget, and neglect what's more important is the soul. That's going to be extracted, and that's going to be counted. The most important is soul. And the food for the soul is the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first give me the opportunity and the tawfiq to ask about what He said, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us all the opportunity to do tasbih al-nafs, to purify our soul, to purify our hearts, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us all the ability to stay away from sins, and sins that will lead us to our heart becoming hard. Amin, Amin, wa akhir da'wana.